I want to play out this video, but I got a serious question after this video. But before we get into the video, do me a favor, like the video and leave a comment. I do my best to respond to as many as I can, and I really enjoy listening to what you guys have to say. Subscribe to my channel and hit that hype button if you really want to help your boy out. It is really appreciated.
My husband and I were together for 8 years, 4 years dating, 4 years married, and I decided to move out in February. And do you want to know how many times in the now 3 months that we've been separated that he's begged me to come back, told me how much he loves me, how much he wants to make it work, how much he misses me and our dog? 0.
Damn. I'm sorry.
0 times has he tried. It actually took less than a week for me, or less than a week from me moving out for him to be on Tinder. So I am just, continuing on, and he obviously doesn't give a shit about me. So with every day that passes, I'm more and more sure of my decision to file for divorce. In my head, my heart is still catching up, but it'll get there. And I think my intention with sharing this with you is just being vulnerable, and maybe the internet isn't always the best place, but in the times that I have chosen to be vulnerable with people are some of the best moments that I've had in making friends, in meeting new people. So I think there is value to sharing what I'm going through, because maybe I can help somebody else not go through the same thing.
And that right there is what I want to talk about. I see a lot of these videos with women who say they left their husbands, then turn around and say they were surprised when the husbands didn't chase after them, like he didn't come and fight for them. And the reason why this is bothering me is because I've never been married. So I'm not going to sit here and act like I know about marriage, because I don't. So I'm going to ask people who have been married or been in this situation, why do these women believe moving out of your house, going to start a new life, is the same as fighting for your relationship? Because in my head, the way you fight for your marriage is you stay in the marriage. You stay there and you guys work through it. That's how I see it. And I understand when I hear somebody say something like they want to go stay with their parents for a couple of days or go stay at a friend's house or whatever, just to kind of let things cool off. I understand that, because you're not leaving. You're just taking a little break to get away and to think about things. But when you pack your stuff up and you move your stuff out of the house and say, I'm done with you, that means you quit. In my head, I want my wife to be standing there like this.
I've been standing with you. I've been right here with you, Troy.
Snot bubbles and everything. That to me sounds like a woman who was fighting for her marriage. And of course, I know it doesn't have to be to that level. It could just be as simple as us talking and going to therapy, working together to get through it. So when I hear you women say y'all moved out, got your own place, or y'all left your husband, that doesn't sound like you're fighting anymore. That sounds like you're quitting. To me, the house is the same as a boxing ring. If I'm standing in the boxing ring with my gloves on and you're in the boxing ring with me, I'm going to swing, I'm going to fight. But once you step out that ring and go back to your locker room, I'm going to think you forfeited the fight. I'm not going to jump out the ring, follow you back to your locker room and keep fighting you. That's called assault. And if I did that,
You're going to jail. You're going to jail.
that is what it's like when you pack your bags and leave the house. If you're in the house with me, we can fight. But once you leave that house, aka the ring, I'm no longer fighting. The fight is over with. And for whatever reason, these women keep doing it, and then they'll come online talking about the man stop fighting. What? The way I see it is, once you grab your stuff and you leave, to me, that is waving the white flag. That is saying it is over with. I'm done. I'm gonna go off and start a new life. And it's just bananas to me that none of you women understand that, because I never see men saying I left my marriage, and I don't understand why she's not calling me and try to fight to get me back. I don't see that. When a man typically leaves the house on his own, I'm not talking about she threw him out, to me, he's done. He's out of there. He's not thinking about coming back. Or if he thinks about coming back, then he'll try to come back. But he doesn't come online and say, she's not fighting for me. You left. So why would she fight for you? I just don't understand it. It's confusing. It's weird. And I'm gonna be honest with you, just plain stupid. Stop doing it. So this lady said her reasoning for sharing this video was to get people to not go through what she's going through. And I'm telling you, in my opinion, this is how you prevent yourself from going through what she's going through. Don't leave. You fight until there's no fighting left. You leave when the fighting is over with. And this way, you won't have to worry about why isn't he fighting anymore, because you both are very clear that the fight is over. Nobody is expecting anything. Again, I've never been married, so I can't speak to it fully. These are just my opinions. But But I would love to hear from y'all because this is just bananas to me. And I see so many of these videos and it's always women. They want to leave and then they want you to fight and beg them to come back. To me, it just makes more sense to try to fix the problem within the house than trying to fix it outside of the house. This is why when she said he doesn't care about me, I'm looking like, what do you mean? He does care about you. He's just not playing these silly games with you. You quit. So he's just gonna move on with his life. You can't quit and expect him to keep going.
It's so funny to me when men think it's a flex to say that the only female billionaires got their money by divorcing their multi-billionaire husbands. Because when you think about what it takes to become a multi-billionaire, it's exploiting people's labor and stepping on people's throats and just unbridled greed. So it actually completely checks out that multi-billionaires are men.
You know what? That's pretty interesting. But let me say this. In your words, to become a billionaire, you need to exploit people's labor, which is what a woman would do by sending her husband out there to make the money. You have to step on people's necks. That is exactly what women do when it's time for divorce and they're trying to take everything from that man. And you also said you have to have unbridled greed. Again, that is exactly what they do when it's time for divorce and they're trying to take everything from that man. So basically what I'm saying is it all checks out to me that instead of a woman going out there doing the hard work of making the $1 billion, they'll just sit back, let the man do it, and then take it from him. Yeah, that checks out. These dudes got an interesting take on having a one-night stand.
A one-night stand, while it used to be all fun and games, now it's literally rolling the dice with your future.
Buying breakfast. All right, if there was an allegation, the investigation in large part focuses on what happened after the fact. And the two people are going out for breakfast or, whatever, hanging out the next day. It probably wasn't a situation where it wasn't consensual.
It's genius because it also prevents accusations from being made.
Right.
Because we've seen it where accusations get made because one person was, as they call it now, ghosted. And the next thing you know, oh no, I didn't want to do that.
Right.
If you're seen with them the next morning in public, buying breakfast, A, you're not ghosting them. B, you're also being seen together in public. It is a great buffer.
Now, I don't think this is a bad idea, and this is more or less for the regular guy, because, rich guys will have girls sign NDAs and stuff like that, but for the regular guys, this isn't a bad idea. Now, of course, if you don't want to be seen with this girl, that's gonna suck, but I understand what these guys are saying. By showing up somewhere where there's witnesses and you can see the girl having a good time, enjoying breakfast with you, it will definitely make it harder for her to throw something at you later on down the line. And it really sucks that we're in a place that men have to even think about stuff like this, because this is real. You can go out with a girl, have a one-night stand, and everything about your life just change overnight. So you really got to be careful. To be honest with you, this is not something I would recommend, but of course men are going to keep doing it. All I am saying, and these guys are saying, is you got to be smart. Don't put yourself in a bad situation, because once you are in that situation, that is when you're going to regret not doing what you need to do to stay out of that situation. So protect yourself and be safe out there, fellas.
I have a theory behind why I think dating feels so hard for straight women right now. And it's actually not because I think our standards are too high. I think it's because we're refusing to shrink for the sake of the men that we're dating. And what I mean by this, and it's probably not a new concept, but in so many aspects of life, like women are doing a lot of the smoothing, a lot of making sure other people are happy or appeased, or, making sure they're not asking for too much because they don't want to disrupt the natural flow of that relationship and what other people want. And now you're seeing in a lot of different aspects, whether it's at the gym, more women are lifting, or in workplaces, more women are setting boundaries, or all of these other aspects, we're refusing to play it small anymore. And at least in my experience, in dating, some men want you to be smaller because it makes them feel more powerful. Is this theory true, or am I just full of crap and have bad taste?
I'll take she's full of crap and she doesn't know how to pick men for 200, Alex. This woman is full of it. All that stuff she's talking about, that is not your problem. Your problem is you don't know how to pick men. I'm happy you said it so I ain't have to just pull it out of a hat. Lady, that's what it is. You don't know how to pick men. There are men out there who are fine with all that stuff you're talking about. You keep going after the men that you want who don't want you. And instead of acknowledging the fact that maybe you're not hot enough for those men, maybe you're not good enough for those men, it's easy to come up with another excuse or reason as to why these men don't want you. You think the reason why these men keep ghosting you is because you refuse to shrink? Lady, you might need to shrink if you believe that. I am not going to sit here and say there are no men out there who are dealing with that, but trust and believe me, that is not the norm. Most men are just fine. If you work on that, your dating life is going to get better. I keep saying this, but these women do not want to hear it. If you learn how to like the men who like you, like the men who want you, like the men who sees value in you, you won't have these problems, okay, lady? Anyway, leave your thoughts on the video. Appreciate you watching. See you next time.